week you talked about we increasing by 30 minutes. I want to plead. There is a question I'm seeing here. I already said that will be the last question, but this is a very touching one, and I want us to please address it so that this person will not leave here with, I wouldn't know why this person asked this particular question, but I want you to hear the question. He said, how can you handle bereavement? You talk about your mom losing his elder brother. So,
okay, the way you handle bereavement actually depends on the social net around you. In families that are, you know, they are very compassionate, they are closely knit, it's easier to deal with bereavement because they will be around you. But, you know, and the way you deal with bereavement is different from where you are more or less just alone. You don't have friends, you don't have good family members that you can actually call your own, and so on. So there's not just one size fits all in the way to handle bereavement. But one thing that is particular, if you are a Christian, about bereavement is to know that before bereavement happened, God already knew that it will happen. He already knew in advance. And he said, he will never give us anything that will destroy us. He will never give us anything we'll not be able to overcome. And when you then begin to walk in that path, you find that even within yourself, deep inside your soul, you're already comforting yourself. What we call self-compassion, you are able to even encourage yourself in the Lord. So when David, you know, when he was bereaved for what happened to him, to his wife, to his children, to his assets and all that, he was so bereaved, he was such in a bad state. What did he do? His friends were stoning him, who ought to actually encourage him in bereavement. They were stoning David, where he was hiding. What did David do? He said, David encouraged himself in the Lord. After he encouraged himself in the Lord, that helped him now to be able to speak to the Lord and say, what may do I do in this state, bereavement? And the Lord then directed him on what to do. So we can actually take some examples from this. And so if you go on to the book of Isaiah 57 from verses 1 to 2, it will also show you a bit about why you should be comforted when there's bereavement around you. You can go and read that scripture, you know, Isaiah 57 verses 1 to 2. It will encourage you about how to handle bereavement. Bereavement is a tough thing. I can't pretend that, you know, my junior brother that died almost 20-something years ago. Sometimes I still feel, but the way I've dealt with that bereavement, I love the brother so much. I loved him so much. He had so much influence over all my children that my children, most of the engineers today is because of him. He was the one who directed them. He was the last born in the family. So what did I do to deal with my bereavement was that how do I immortalize him so that every time I hear his name. So, and I went to APCON, had a prize instituted for robotics for him. I then changed my school's name from my name to his name. So today when you hear Ed John is his name. So my school name is now his name. I removed my name and put his name there. So, and I believe by mentioning that name, that school carrying that name, I remember him, I see him as a part of a living being with me every time. That's how I dealt with my own bereavement. My junior brother died, that I loved, or I still love so much. So I believe that the Lord will help you in discovering the way to deal with yours, because it will depend on your own context. But the context itself is important, you know, to the way you are able to deal with bereavement.
Thank you very much, sir. Most importantly, hold on to God is our comforter, and he said he will never leave us comfortless. So thank you very much, Daddy, for that wonderful section. So I want you to know that you can always go back to this video and look at all our videos that we'll be having in recent weeks. on our YouTube. I'm dropping it right away. So that's our YouTube channel. You can always go there and pick all our videos and listen to it. You will hear the mind-blowing teachings that will transform your life. And I want to say of this day experience and part of this day's teaching, we also have a TikTok account. You can also visit our TikTok account to see what we have been teaching and we have been explaining there. So I'm dropping it right away also. So that's our link for TikTok. So thank you very much. As I will yield my mic now, and I would want our Father in the Lord, who the Lord have used for us this night, to bless the day as we